Hello guys and welcome to my screencast. It's Derek Fuma here. Screencast is, I'm doing this screencast with ScreenFlow, which is a Telestream product. And Telestream is a company that makes a lot of products that you can use for going live or just recording stuff that you can put on all the different platforms on the internet. Now, I'm going to show you how I use GarageBand on the Mac and also on the iPad Pro, and how you can then export that audio, what you've recorded, over to iTunes or to SoundCloud. So let's get started. So first up, I'm going to show you that on the Mac, for example, okay, you've got two versions of GarageBand. So there is this GarageBand version 6.05, and there is this one here, which is the latest. I think this is version 11 or 10, something like that. So I'm going to show you the two of them, what they look like. So this is the old version, and this one here, that's the old version, and it still has some of my files there. Didn't do too many files on this one, and you can start a new project right there. I'm not using it at the moment, but if you wanted to do a podcast, you could just click on here and you would name the song. So let's say new song or new podcast. Let's call it new podcast. And then you would create. And once you click on create, you just wait a few seconds. And then it will come up with this, and then you start recording, but there'll obviously be some adjustments that you need to make, but that's the old version. So I'm just going to close the old version and close that. Then this is the new version of GarageBand, and it has the new projects right at the top. You can add an empty project. You can do a keyboard collection. You can do an amp collection. You can do voice, which is where you do your podcasting, which is what we're going to use. You can do a ringtone, hip hop, electronic, and songwriter. I want to try songwriter. Maybe I'm going to write a song one day. And there's learn to play. So if you learn to play, there are some guitar lessons, piano lessons, artist lessons. I think with artist lessons, there's some actual artists who will be teaching you how to play. And there is the lesson store, where you can do guitar lessons, piano, and artist lessons right there. And obviously your lessons are here. So that was the Derek Fuma Show 2, the Derek Fuma Show 2, the Derek Fuma Show 1. So we're going to go ahead onto the new project, and I'm going to click on voice, and it's going to load 03 voice loading. And once it's loaded, this is the new beautiful screen that you get. And with this screen, you can already see that there is movement there before I even start recording. So just to walk you through a few of the things, like I always say, we are not all going to use all of these things at the same time. Some people will be more sophisticated and they're going to use more of this stuff, but some people will just, for example, I haven't touched any of these controls here. Okay, so I haven't touched them. I haven't touched the equalizer. I have not touched anything here except voice and bright vocal. There is narration vocal. There is bright vocal. I'm going to choose bright vocal. So fetch load to the selected track. You can start playing it immediately. So what I'm interested in, and here you can make a few changes. You can, for example, drop down menu. You can put just the time. Okay. And this one here, metronome, here a click at the project. If you do that, then you're going to hear clicks. So you don't want that. So you're going to get rid of that. Otherwise, you hear tick, 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 tick throughout the recording. Media browser, the browser, notepad, button, all of these things, I'm not really going to touch them at the moment. But as I use this on a daily basis, I will probably get more sophisticated. Then I'll be able to explain a little bit better. But, you can only explain what you do. You cannot explain the whole thing. It's quite a lot to think about. So you've got GarageBand there. About GarageBand and all that, you can go to File, Edit, Track, Record, Mix, Share. This is where we share to iTunes or to SoundCloud, which is what we're going to do. I think we're just going to do SoundCloud for today because I still need to set up my iTunes link from GarageBand. Something I need to get done as soon as possible, probably tomorrow. So basically, we're just going to go to record here, and I'm going to start recording. Hello, this is Derek Tafuma, and it's the Derek Tafuma Show. Welcome to my show. Today, I'm explaining how to use GarageBand on the Mac and also on the iPad Pro in order to record audio, which can then be posted to either SoundCloud or to the iTunes library for the podcast, for my podcast station there. So this is just a trial. I'm going to let it run for about a minute. Then I'm going to stop it. And then I'm going to play it back to make sure that it's working. And then we're going to post it to SoundCloud. And we're going to avoid iTunes for today because I haven't actually finished setting that up. Then after that, we're going to do the same thing with the iPad Pro. As you can see, the iPad Pro is waiting in the right bottom corner. So as soon as we've done that, we'll come to the end of this presentation. So we're going to, this is the record button, record is selected. Stop button, stop playback or recording. So we're going to stop here. We have stopped, and then we're going to move it to the beginning, go to the beginning, and then we're going to play it back. And I'm going to be quiet while it's playing back. Hello, this is Derek Tafuma, and it's the Derek Tafuma Show. Welcome to my show. Today, I'm explaining how to use GarageBand on the Mac and also on the iPad Pro in order to record audio, which can then be posted to either SoundCloud or to the iTunes library for the podcast, for my podcast station there. Okay, so I'm just going to stop it right there. And then export song to disk. I remember that now. When you export it to disk, then you can name it. What did we name the other one? Demo. Demo. GarageBand recording. Let's call it that. Right. So we save it as an MP3, export that. And as soon as we finish, it's going to be available here. There we go. Hello, this is Derek Tafuma, and it's the Derek Tafuma. Right, and then we go to SoundCloud.com and we want to upload. Choose a file to upload. I'm not going pro yet. Thank you very much. Then I'm gonna go to the GarageBand demo, which is that one. That one there. And then we're gonna choose that. And it's going to be uploaded to SoundCloud. What genre is this? It's not music. We're gonna say custom. Custom genre. We're gonna call it GarageBand podcast. You can call it what you want. Description. A demonstration of how to record a podcast on GarageBand and export it or upload it to SoundCloud. Great. Let's fix that demonstration. See, I've got Grammarly right there, and it's going to correct any issues with the demonstration. Brilliant. And I can check for plagiarism as well. Any plagiarism? Checking down here. Checking for plagiarism. I don't think there is nothing. Contextual spelling is on, grammar is on, punctuation is on, style and sentence structure, vocabulary enhancement is on, and that's sorted. Okay, so that's a perfect sentence right there. Let's see if it doesn't work in there. Then we can share this on Twitter and on Facebook. My Tumblr is not set up, I don't think. Okay, let's save this. Save. Share new track. Audio track. I'll share it. Okay, I think that's done. Let's play it and see. Shall we go to your track here? Yeah. Let's go. Hello, this is Derek Tafuma and it's the Derek Tafuma Show. Welcome to my show. Today I'm explaining how to use GarageBand on the Mac and also... Okay, so that's done. Now the next thing that I want to do is to go to the iPad. And on the iPad, right here is GarageBand. Okay, so I'm gonna click on GarageBand, and you can see that there are a few songs that I've done already. But if you wanna start a new song, you click there and create new song, and then you've got here play and record third-party instruments directly into your GarageBand. So you can play instruments directly into GarageBand. You can play the keyboard. Let's see how the keyboard sounds like. Okay, you can play the keyboard. You can play the drums, AMP, and here we go, audio recorder. This is where we're coming back, but you got strings, bass, guitar, world drama, and going back through the same again. But you're going to click on voice. And when you get to voice, again, this metronome needs to be turned off because the metronome just makes life difficult because it keeps going throughout continuously throughout the recording, and you don't want that. Right. So it's the plus button. Then you go to section A. It says 8 bars. Okay, so you want to set that to automatic. And once it's set to automatic, so I think the best thing is just to start a new song. Otherwise, it's going to play on top of that. Quickly start a new song, voice, and remove the metronome, the plus star, change that to automatic. Otherwise, if it's just 8, it's gonna play for just 8 seconds or 18, whatever. So you're gonna set it to automatic, and then you start. So 3, 2, 1, 0. So apologies for the first. I'd forgotten about the plus sign in the corner there. So that's where you remove the restriction on 8 seconds, because you don't want to record for just 8 seconds. You want to talk for as long as you want, for as long as the message is relevant. And so I've removed that, and it's gone past the 8 seconds. And it's a recording, again, by the way, a recording of a podcast using GarageBand. And I'm recording this using my iPad Pro. I've done the same thing using my Mac, and we've posted that to SoundCloud, and we're going to do the same here. So I'm going to stop the recording now, and as soon as I stop it, we're going to find a way to send the song to SoundCloud. So let's stop it right now. Okay, so once we've stopped it, we just go to my songs, and then I'm gonna try to change the name of that. Let's call it demo recording, demo GarageBand. Recording. Demo GarageBand, let's call it 1. And that's done. And then what you do now is you press on it a little bit. Then it starts, when it starts jiggling like that, you go to the top left to the share button right there. And then you look for SoundCloud. Okay, there it is. There's SoundCloud. So I'm gonna move SoundCloud. Then right at the start, and then we click on that, and then it's gonna come up and say sign in with Facebook, because I haven't signed into it yet on this. And it's gonna ask me for my email address and all that. Okay, it's done. So I wanna visit SoundCloud and find out what's happened there. There we go. 0. So apologies for the first. I'd forgotten about the plus sign in the corner there. Stop it. So that's where you remove. Okay. So that's the 2 ways of recording a podcast and sending it to SoundCloud. But you can also send it to iTunes and any other podcasting platform of your choice. So basically, I've come to the end of this presentation or this talk or this sharing of ideas, because that's all we can do. We can share ideas. Some people will have better knowledge of this. Some people are just starting off. This is the beauty of the internet. You can learn quite a lot from different people, from anyone for that matter. Some things you no longer need to go to a university or to school for that matter to learn some of these things. If you have the interest with the internet, you can just learn about anything at any time. So thank you for watching this screencast using the ScreenFlow application on the Mac. ScreenFlow is by a company called Telestream. They make quite a lot of software, some of which is used for live recordings and sharing on platforms like Facebook and YouTube and other social networking platforms. So I was showing you how a podcast can be recorded by GarageBand on the Mac and the iPad Pro and sent to iTunes and to SoundCloud. Again, thank you for listening. And if it's your first time and you like what you see, you might want to share what you've seen, and also you might want to subscribe, and you might want to turn on the notifications bell so that you get regular updates, because this screencast is going to happen every day and you don't want to miss anything. So you're going to want to subscribe and to share, and obviously to turn on the notification bell. Thank you again for listening and watching.